The NFL is finally back! And here are 5 things that we learned from week 1 of the NFL. Starting it off with the biggest piece of news, and it is that the wide receiver position has officially taken over the RB position as the most valuable position in football.
At least on the offensive side of the ball with a player that's not a quarterback.
There were 11 different wide receivers this past weekend who had over 100 yards receiving. We had some familiar faces in new places who balled out, like A.J. Brown, who had 10 receptions for 155 yards, Devontae Adams, who had 10 catches for 141 yards and a touchdown, Christian Kirk, who surprisingly had 6 catches for 117 yards, Jarvis Landry went off for the Saints with 5 catches for 114 yards, and Tyreek Hill had 8 catches for 94 yards. And we had a lot of guys prove that it wasn't a fluke and that they really are the top receivers in the league. Guys, of course, like Justin Jefferson having an absolute day with 9 catches for 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. His LSU teammate Jamar Chase also went crazy, having 10 catches for 129 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp showing why he was the Triple Crown winner last year with 13 catches for 128 yards and a touchdown. Stephon Diggs doing Stephon Diggs-like things with 8 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. And Travis Kelce being continuously the number 1 tight end in the league with 8 catches for 121 yards and 1 touchdown. I know that we have been saying that the NFL has been a passing league for a while, but it is now official that the wide receiver position has taken that full step into the passing era now as well. Before, we had a couple of receivers who were just like, they were star guys, but they really couldn't stay consistent or they weren't able to really ball out. Now we're seeing that there are multiple receivers. And with those 11, there are still another 8 or 9 guys who are potentials to go over 100 yards each and every single week. So the NFL is absolutely deep at the wide receiver position, and it's quite clear to see that the wide receiver position has fully taken over the RB position as far as the most valuable weapon on the offensive side of the ball. However, even though we just got done talking about the wide receiver position taking over the RBs, the number 2 take is, Saquon is back. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I hate seeing especially young, talented players get hurt. So to see Saquon have the day that he had, going for 164 yards with 1 touchdown, averaging 9.4 yards a carry, Saquon looked absolutely strong out there. He looked explosive. He didn't look timid. He was hitting the hole where he needed to, and he still had that 4.4 speed. And just his overall play style was very Saquon-like. And it was good to see that Mike Kafka and the Giants were using Saquon in a bunch of different areas early and often. On top of the 164 receiving yards that he also had 6 catches for 30 yards with 7 targets, which is about the sweet spot of what you want out of Saquon Barkley. You want to get him involved in that passing game because he is such a dynamic catcher out of the backfield as well, that when you're able to use him effectively in all areas of that offense, he's just a bigger Christian McCaffrey. They both suffer from the same thing of getting hurt. But if Saquon is able to stay healthy, which I pray that he is, and he showed like he is absolutely ready to take off. I mean, the Titans gave up one of, if not the least rushing yards last year. So to see what he did in week 1, absolutely phenomenal. It looks like Saquon Barkley is back. However, I know that it is just week 1, and the question still remains, will Daniel Jones be a good enough passer for defenses to respect his arm so that they don't just flood the box each and every single play? Because if Daniel Jones is able to be even a semi-competent passer so that Saquon has a little bit of room to run in the box, I'm telling you, if he's able to stay healthy, he will maintain this pace. And all the guys who chose to pick him up in fantasy, I know that y'all are excited right now. Now, moving on to the third thing that we learned from week 1. Joe Burrow? That Burr says we're freezing cold now. Yesterday, Joe Burrow had 338 passing yards for 2 touchdowns, but had 4 interceptions and 2 fumbles, which one of them he lost, and he got sacked 7 times. The Bengals greatly overachieved last year because even though they had one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL, they have one of the worst, absolutely one of the worst offensive lines in all of football. We even saw it in the AFC Championship game. We saw it all throughout their playoffs. The teams were able to get after Joe Burrow constantly. It's just Joe Burrow was able to make plays. I do not think that Joe Burrow is not going to be able to succeed if the Bengals do not get him some more offensive line help. If I'm the Bengals GM and owner, I'm doing everything that I can. I'm pushing all of my chips into the center of the table to try and help secure that offensive line. The Bengals will absolutely flounder. They will flop over dead this year because teams have got a whole year to figure out what to do. I feel like the Bengals and the Rams funny enough, the two Super Bowl teams, I feel like they're going to be in the same position. They're going to be like, okay, we will let you torch us with your star wide receiver, Cooper Kupp and Jamar Chase. Y'all can have fun out there. We will stop everything else that you guys do because one wide receiver is not going to beat us each and every single week. The Bengals need to help Joe Burrow. He cannot be getting sacked 7 times. If the Bengals do not take this year and next year to help secure that offensive line, the Bengals will, hands down, they will be wasting Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase's prime. And the fourth thing that we learned from week 1 of the NFL season is Tyreek who? Now, I'm not talking about Tyreek's performance versus the Patriots because he actually had a really good game. I'm talking, that's what Patrick Mahomes was saying. Tyreek who? He threw for 360 yards for 5 touchdowns, completing 76.9% of his passes and had a QBR of 144.2. Patrick Mahomes wasted absolutely no time versus a very solid Arizona Cardinals defense. We wasted no time showing that, hey, even though we lost Tyreek Hill, I'm still the best quarterback in the NFL, and I'm gonna go out here and prove why. Of course, one of the biggest questions with Tyreek leaving was how that was going to affect Travis Kelce, which it didn't. He still was eating out there. Juju Smith-Schuster had himself a very solid game, even though he had 2 fumbles. He looks to be a very solid receiver in that Chiefs offense. And Marcus Valdes-Scantling did a great job of getting open as well. And Sky Moore, even though he had 1 catch, it was for 30 yards. And so he looks that once he gets more comfortable in an offense, and once they start incorporating him more and making specific plays to get Sky Moore the ball, he looks to be a very explosive target in that Chiefs offense. On top of that, if rookie running back Isaiah Pacheco and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, if they're able to find consistent success in that backfield, I'm telling y'all, the Chiefs will have one of, if not one of the top 5 best offenses in the NFL yet again. Patrick Mahomes is still that dude. He still is out there making plays. He's still going to always be giving the Chiefs a chance to be in Super Bowl contention, even losing a massive piece like Tyreek Hill. They went ahead and picked up a bunch of supplemental pieces to help, and I honestly believe that that's going to help Patrick Mahomes even more because now instead of really just having a focus between getting the ball either to Tyreek or to Travis Kelce, he has more options to throw the ball to. He can spread the ball out a little bit more, which makes it harder for the teams to cover any one wide receiver. And if you're going to be giving Patrick Mahomes one-on-one coverage with his receivers, he's going to fit that ball into any window that he needs to. So I'm telling y'all, if the running game is able to take a step forward, which it looks like it's going to with rookie running back Isaiah Pacheco, if they're able to get consistent success out of that backfield and teams can't just put 90,000 people in the secondary, I'm telling y'all, even as a Bronco fan, I don't like to say it, but the Chiefs will be back at the top of the AFC. I'm just letting y'all know that. And before we get into the 5th thing that we learned in week 1 of the NFL, be sure to leave this video a like and also hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications. We do these videos all the time, and you guys want to stay on top of all the videos that we drop, and we're also on the road to 300,000 subscribers. Also, an honorable mention, one thing that we learned from week 1 of the NFL season is that the Cowboys are still trash. Sorry to say. Couldn't do anything versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, only scoring 3 points. Sadly, Dak got hurt. He's going to need thumb surgery. So, yeah, Cowboy fans, at least it happened early. At least, you didn't get to get your hopes all up and it's like, oh, man, we made the playoffs. At least it just happened early so, you can just be like, all right, I can just watch the games and just relax like a normal Cowboys fan. So, at least that's a good thing for y'all. But the 5th thing that we learned is that Aaron Rodgers' fall off is about to be a lot faster than we realized. Aaron Rodgers is coming off of back-to-back MVP seasons, and now after losing Devontae Adams, I believe that we're about to see one of the quickest fall-offs from a quarterback that we've ever seen. Aaron Rodgers only threw for 195 yards with 1 interception, was sacked 4 times, and had a QBR of 16. On top of that, his leading receiver in receptions, yards, and targets was A.J. Dillon, the team's running back, meaning that he was just throwing a bunch of checkdowns. Aaron Rodgers did not look interested to be out there. Anytime that the pocket collapsed around him, it looked like he just gave up on the play. Overall, it looked like Aaron Rodgers simply did not want to be a Green Bay Packer, which is unfortunate to see, seeing that he just signed that massive contract. So I don't know what's going on. The Packers are going to need to find somebody else because the Sammy Watson project, that didn't look like it was going to be working out. All the rookie Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, they did all right for rookies, but they're not going to be able to replace Devontae. You could just see that Aaron he did not look on the same page with any of his receivers. He just looked lethargic out there. Aaron Rodgers simply looked like he did not want to be on the field. And if that is the mentality and the attitude that he's going to be carrying throughout the season, it's going to be a rough one for the Packers fans. And this might be the last season that we see Aaron Rodgers. We'll see how things go. But if this continues, I can pretty much guarantee this will be the last season that we see Aaron Rodgers in the NFL. So those are the 5 things that we learned from week 1 of the NFL season. I want to hear you guys' thoughts on what happened with week 1. Be sure to comment down below who's your favorite team and what happened with your guys' team, and just kind of comment down below what you guys hope for of the future. Obviously, you can see my Broncos play tonight. We should be getting an easy dub versus that danger Russ Wilson versus his former team. I appreciate you Seahawks for sending them over here. But yeah, the Broncos should be doing very well. They should get the Seahawks up out of there very easily. But yeah, comment down below who's your favorite team and how they did week 1. And with that being said, like I said, leave this video a like, comment down below whatever you want to comment down below. Hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 300,000 subscribers. And with that being said, I love and appreciate all y'all. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Ciao.